To process an overwhelming amount of daily information, the human brain relies on predictable structures. When we encounter a familiar pattern, we don't have to analyze every detail from scratch. We simply recognize the shape of the information and fill in the rest. Centuries ago, oral traditions relied heavily on these mental shortcuts. English folklore used the image of a spectral black dog to represent immediate danger, while the tale of the Church Grimm, a phantom hound guarding a graveyard, served as a clear, instantly recognizable warning against trespassing. Today, commercial entertainment operates on the exact same principles. A script will place a glowing amulet in a booby-trapped temple or feature a dramatic rescue of a stranded puppy, because these scenarios are proven to elicit a highly specific, standardized response from an audience. The mechanics here are highly efficient. By delivering an expected emotional payoff, these familiar narratives allow viewers to skip the friction of critical analysis and move directly to a feeling of satisfaction or suspense. These recurring devices, or tropes, function as a layer of psychological infrastructure. They are deliberately engineered to direct human attention, bypassing logic to reliably trigger a desired emotional state. This same psychological infrastructure now underpins modern digital communication. In short-form online text, these shortcuts function as tools for deliberate weaponization, targeting public opinion at a massive scale. Researchers publishing in the ACL anthology recently tracked how these familiar narrative devices are intentionally deployed across social media. They found empirical evidence that specific tropes are systematically used to steer public discourse. The researchers identified a heavy concentration of this manipulation surrounding public health policy, specifically the distribution of vaccines. A second major focal point for these engineered narratives is global immigration, with thousands of manipulated posts targeting border policies and the movement of migrant populations. In both cases, the strategic objective is identical. By mapping highly complex societal issues onto simple, recognizable tropes, augurs bypass logical debate and artificially manufacture public consensus. The industrialization of these storytelling techniques has created a systemic, measurable method for narrative control. To track this influence, data scientists treat these manipulative tropes as discrete products within the modern information market, sorting them into distinct categories. Tropes like defend the weak or natural is better function as emotional levers. They mask hidden political or financial motives under a layer of basic morality and tradition, making the underlying agenda difficult to spot. Other categories, such as liberty and freedom or time proves me right, serve as ideological levers. They are designed to polarize audiences and isolate them from institutional authority by framing every issue as a battle for personal autonomy. These specific categories consistently succeed because they map directly onto universal human experiences. When a message aligns with a deeply held value, manipulation becomes nearly invisible to the target. By isolating and explicitly defining these distinct categories, researchers have taken a crucial first step. They are translating abstract psychological manipulation into a measurable, targetable dataset. The data science community is countering this problem by training natural language processing models to automatically scan and filter these engineered narratives. Building this system required a foundational dataset. Researchers compiled and manually labeled a corpus of 3,300 social media posts, tagging each one with its corresponding underlying trope. They tested 3 distinct tiers of machine learning models against this data: an open-weight system, a proprietary large language model, and a fine-tuned supervised model specifically trained on their labeled corpus. The results were definitive. The fine-tuned model, designated COVID-BERT-FT, significantly outperformed the general language models in accurately identifying nuanced human narratives. The model excelled in specific areas. It easily detected the liberty and freedom trope, largely due to the presence of highly predictable text patterns, pairs of words like body and choice, or vaccine and mandates. This chart illustrates correlations between the identified tropes. Intersections reveal where the system differentiates categories and where it struggles. Lower scores point to AI overfitting. The model creates false positives by triggering on isolated keywords, failing to distinguish overlapping concepts like time proves me right. While machine learning efficiently detects a trope's mechanical structure, it still struggles with the contextual nuance and the actual intent behind human speech. Deploying this automated detection infrastructure at scale introduces a new set of risks and unintended consequences. The primary risk is a technological arms race. As AI improves at detecting specific manipulative tropes, malicious actors will actively adapt their phrasing and tactics to evade the filters. There is also the secondary risk of algorithmic bias. Models trained on highly specific socio-political datasets can inadvertently absorb and amplify existing cultural stereotypes present in the training data. This baked-in bias carries real-world implications, potentially leading to the systemic misrepresentation or accidental censorship of legitimate, non-malicious voices online. Automated detection is not a flawless solution. It is an imperfect, constantly evolving system that requires perpetual human oversight to function responsibly. The invisible infrastructure that powers human communication will continue to adapt and shift. Identifying this underlying code provides the structural awareness necessary to analyze public discourse as it happens. Artificial intelligence can map the battlefield and highlight the patterns, but the only reliable defense against systemic narrative manipulation is a structurally aware and informed citizen.